How to get wealthy? Right, so the answer is very simple. You got to study well or have some talent because of which you have earned well, which will help you to earn well. Get a good degree, get a good job, earn well. There is no doubt that that is the only way to creating wealth. You have to earn well. There is no mistake. So if you are a Virat Kohli, play cricket. If you are Sachin Tendulkar, play cricket. If you're Sania Mirza, play tennis. If you're Saina Nehwal, then you play badminton, right? So depending on your skill, there are ways. Or if you're a Shah Rukh Khan, you should act. If you're a Deepika Padukone, you should act. So these are ways of making wealth, in the sense that these are ways of earning money. That money has to be deployed, right? Where would you deploy that money? So I will tell you 8 or 9 ways where I have seen people make money, but you have to have a diversified portfolio. You cannot say all my monies will be in one, because each investment vehicle has a different purpose, right? So the first question, if you are topmost, if you ask me, has to be stocks and equity, right? So there is no question that you give your money to some other man who will work for you and work hard and earn money for you. So it could be a Deepak Parekh, could be a Aditya Puri, could be a Uday Kotak, could be anybody, could be, I mean, in terms of the company names, it could be a Zomato, it could be a Nykaa. They could create wealth. I'm not recommending, but I'm saying some companies could create wealth for you very quickly, some could take a very long time, some may not create wealth at all, some will go down the drain. So learning how to invest in equities is the most important thing that you can do as a real investor in the real life, in the real world. One solution for not being able to understand this is taking the mutual fund route, which also makes sense for 99% of the people watching this video. Some people will be able to pick stocks and do well, some people will be able to pick mutual funds and do well. And for the third category, which is say 98% of the world population or the people watching this video, it is index funds, right? So you put money in an index fund, what return will you get? You will get return better than your PPF return. And you will perhaps pay less tax, because you're going to pay it after 20-30 years, and you will pay some 10% tax, hopefully 10% with indexation. So that may not be too much of tax, and then you will get dividends on which you will pay regular tax. So these kind of things will happen. If you invest in an index fund, and in a growth option, you won't get dividends, nothing, and everything will get accumulated, and you will pay tax on all that later. The second investment which you make, which is actually a saving product, is bonds. I would not suggest direct bonds, because Indian markets are not good enough for direct bonds. So debt mutual fund, right? So debt mutual fund, again, you have a full range, right, from a liquid fund to a gilt fund. So this has got very low duration, which is got if you want money for 1 day, 1 day, 2 day, 10 days kind of money, if you have to invest, you go into a liquid fund. If you have money for a longer period, you can invest money in a gilt fund. You can also buy government gilts. It's available on a retail product. So that is product number 2. Product number 3, which I've seen, is of course real estate. And real estate, I've seen more money being made by people buying real estate and putting it to use on a temporary basis, which means you buy a house in Simla or a JB or a Manali or a Panchgani and use it for giving it to people, right? So you today have either give it through friends or relatives or whatever. You have you buy a property, you give it on rent to people for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. That makes more money than giving it on rent for somebody for a year or 2 years or 3 years, right? So any of those things you can, that is the third option which you have. These are 3 places where I've seen people create money, right? So then fourth is of course commodities like gold and silver and all that, but that is more in the trading thing. But again, it is a place where you're deploying your money. I am not getting into doing your own business. That is of course what you're doing, or you're working somewhere. That's your job. But this is the place where you're just putting in your money. The other way where I've seen people create wealth is to do angel investing. Somebody comes to you and you say, okay, this is what it looks like, I want to do this. So angel investing or even venture capital funding, depending on the size of your portfolio. Angel funding happens more emotionally than venture capital funding. Venture capital funding can happen provided you have a friend who is doing venture capital funding and he tells you, I think this company looks good, I'm putting so much money, if you want you can also put money. So therefore you participate in that. I've seen people do that and earn money. Broadly this is what it is. Of course there are people who can buy a horse and put it for horse racing. I don't know how that works. I have not seen anybody in the first round or circle where I've heard of people saying, oh, iska ghoda chalta hai, Bangalore mein chalta hai and all that, but I don't personally know any of those people. So broadly these are the ways how you can really make money. When I say make money, I'm saying you're money making money. How you can make money? Of course you can study, you can get a good job, you can create your company, you can take the company public, you will have your own shares. That is the best way, tried and tested way of making money. Everybody has made money, whether it is Deepak Parekh or Uday Kotak or a Nirmal Jain or a Rasesh. Everybody has made money by listing their companies. That is where you really make the cream. But largely, if you don't want any of this, indexing is good, makes sense. You will get a return greater than what you're getting in an RBI bond or a PPF, and that will create wealth. It's the power of N. So you start investing when you are 30 years of age or 25 years of age and just lage raho for the next 45-50 years and you will create some wealth. But the question is, are there shortcuts to it? The answer is sadly no. Thank you.